I keep hearing people talk about their personal brand. People are constantly trying to draw folks to them, trying to figure out how to monetize their stories and experiences. I feel trapped, though, by the teachings of Jesus that I've embraced, not those taught by religious extremists or preachers who worry about, how long people will continue to give to them under the belief that they're given to God and will be blessed as a result. I think about Jesus, who, when his ministry becomes public, begins by saying, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me to preach good news to the poor." His proclamation starts with remembering the poor, not quoting any of the other myriad of scriptures about wealth and well-being, attached to faithfulness and the obedience of God. All of that is true. He starts by saying he is anointed to first bring good news to the poor. And it reminds me of the Dorothy Day biopic. She's on her personal grind at first, and then she encounters the extreme poverty of New York City. So she begins to feed them. And then she begins to tap out her own resources and realize that she has to partner with others. So she takes her writing skills and she creates a literary magazine focused exclusively on the needs of the poor as a tool for raising money to support the work. She doesn't describe it as ministry. She describes it as the work that needs to be done based on her own personal convictions about what it means to what it means to serve Jesus in response to the needs of the common good. But these people she's servicing or working for, they're an interesting lot, real rough bunch. And so she recruits allies to work alongside her to do the work. But they too are growing sick of these people. These people are drug users and thieves and prostitutes who are basically turning tricks in the bathroom. They're human in all of the ways the good Christian people repent for, except their shit is just out there on display. They are exhausting. And when one of them overdoses in the bathroom in the house that Dorothy Day has raised funds so that they don't have to be homeless and they can have these services, they can eat indoors, sleep indoors. And now one of them is, they're using drugs, and then one of them has overdosed in the bathroom. Her workers are like, that's it. Her workers are about to quit on her, saying that they believe that there is great work that her magazine can do if she could just forget about all these trifling people. And on top of that, she has a daughter, and her daughter is also tired of these folks stealing from her and generally just being in her private space. So she prefers to go hang out at her friend's house, and, their home is quieter and it's just, in general more sane. And it's at this moment that Dorothy Day breaks down. She goes around the corner from the building that holds all of the work, that she's been doing. She lifts her head towards heaven and says, "God, you stink. You're a thief. You use drugs. You have sex in bathrooms." And as she's making all of these proclamations, she also begins to cry, but then she ends with, "And I still love you." And it was at that admission that she just really kind of lets it all out. But then a beautiful thing happens right after that. She gives her workers an ultimatum. She tells them simply, "Look, if you want to continue to partner with me, I welcome you. But this is the work." She gives them a deadline. If they show up the next day, then they're still with her. By the grace of God, the next day, they all show up with new attitudes, accepting and acknowledging that this is the work. The last scene of the movie is with Dorothy Day as an old woman, not sitting in a palace, but in a jail cell. You see, she continued to do the work. And those two are my convictions. I've been battling what it means for me to honor the gifts and insights of my heart, the insight of my life, the influences that are real for me, even if they aren't real for others. Also acknowledge where I have a pattern of playing small. And I've developed really good excuses for why it's not really playing small. But then I went through my website and all of the pictures that are listed there that I've taken for events that I've produced and curated. And it turns out that I am big on including all, other voices and other stories. It's not just about my story. It's about everyone's story. That is my life's work. I'm not called to hog the mic. I'm called to make room for other voices, for other stories. So even when they say, People come to my workshop and they'll say, I don't know how to tell a story. I got you. That's the work. Training and granting access so that everyone may contribute a verse to the universe. Truth meets story, courage, crush fear.